I chose to, in a way, focus on again another topic. And in this case, I want us to look at mathematics N1 for the students who are going to be writing their mathematics N1. So again, this is a live session, and again, um, I'm just sharing this with you guys so that you can prepare for your final exams. So if you are still um, able to watch this video as it is live, it is a good time for you to ensure that you prepare for your final exams. So I just want to share a quick topic on algebra because it is one of the most important topics. And when it comes to algebra, I chose a few questions here, and let us look at question number 3 on algebra. As I say, this is mathematics N1, so I'm just going to do a few examples here. That is question number 3. It is out of 17 marks, as you can see, and I'll show you with you a few tricks that is always important for you to take note of whenever you're working with your math. Now let us look at 3.1.1. It says factorize the following expressions fully, and you've got that one to say 3x squared minus 27x. When they say factorize, meaning they are saying you need to take out a common factor. So whenever you're factorizing, the first thing to do is to check the numbers. So we have got 3 and we have 27. Now you can always take advantage of a calculator to say, if I say 27 divided by 3, see, there is always gonna give they are going to give you numbers which are common. So you can see that 3 goes into 27. So 3 is common because 3 can go into 3 and 3 can also go into 27. Whenever you come to x squared and x, the power there that is hidden is 1. Take the smallest power, which is x to the power 1. So whenever you are looking at a common factor, what you're simply doing is you're going to divide each of these by the common factor, which is 3x. So what you're saying is 3x squared. Remember, 3x squared is 3 times x times x. That squared is 2x over 3x. So that will cancel, and only 1x will remain. That's what you write inside there. Again, minus 27x over 3x. Remember the common factor. 3 into 27 is 9. The x cancels, so you see that 9 remains. So it's x minus 9. So this is the answer that you get. That's why you get 2 marks. So factorization, guys, is always basic and standard. Remember, when you're taking out a common factor, that common factor you took is dividing into each item that is separated by a negative or a positive sign. The next one, 3.1.2, we're given this one. We're supposed to factorize again. X squared, x minus 1 minus 5x plus 5. I'm supposed to factorize fully. Now it's 3 marks. You see, having them more marks, it means you need to be a bit sensitive to that. Now, already they have factorized for us. When you see brackets, it means part of it has been done. So your aim is to focus on the next one. What is common between 5x and 5? You can see 5 is common there and 5 is common. So I'll write that as x squared, x minus 1. Now we said 5 is common, so you take a plus sign as default. Always take a plus. Then you take the 5 that is common. As I told you, when you're taking out a common factor, you are dividing. So the first one is minus 5x. We're going to divide it by 5, and then we've got 5. We're going to divide by 5. So 5 into minus 5x is negative x. So we're going to have negative x there, plus 5 goes into 5 once, so plus 1. Are you seeing that? So when you've done that, you can move on to say, look at the brackets. What is important is what is inside the brackets. Here we have x minus 1, but in the other side we have minus x plus 1. Look at the signs. X is positive in the first, negative in the second. 1 is negative in the first, positive in the second. So it means when you're given such a scenario, you write your first bracket as is, but now you take out a negative. So instead of a positive 5, it now becomes a negative 5. You just interchange the signs. 1 was negative, x was negative, x become positive. 1 is positive, 1 becomes negative. By taking out that 5, look at what has happened inside the bracket. When it matches, as when you continue to say, write one of those brackets because it's the same anyway. It's x minus 1. But what do you have outside the brackets? You have got that one. Open another bracket, which is x squared. Then you've got that, which is minus 5. Then you have fully factorized. They say it fully. That's why they gave it more marks. Now look at this one. It's x minus 1 and it's x squared minus 5. Now, how can you kind of test? Let's say you want to test. Let me just give a bit of testing. How do I usually test? I choose any value of x. For example, I say let x be equal to 3. So what I do is where there is x here, I put a 3. Where there is x here, I put a 3. And then I get my answer. Just choose any value of x. It doesn't matter what you choose. So I'll put a bracket and I'll say 3 minus 1. And then put another bracket, which is 3 squared. Remember, x is x squared. So 3 squared minus 5. Close the bracket. I get the answer, which is 8. I do the same thing here on my initial one. See, where there is x squared, I must put 3 on the original question. So it is 3 squared because I said my x is 3. Bracket x minus 1 will be 3 minus 1. Close the bracket, minus 5. But x there, you protect that. Remember, x is 3 plus 5. I also must get an 8 if I didn't change. See, it's giving me an 8. So here, when x is 3 and x is 3 and x is 3, I got 8. Even here, I got 8. Then, in a way, I've tested that my answers are correct. So, guys, that is how you can test that. Let's move on. Also, as I said, this is for mathematics N1. By the way, guys, there are a lot of videos that I uploaded on YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe to our channel as well as turn that notification bell on so that when I'm having such things like live streams, you are notified. And also, if you want to have more videos for you guys, become a premium member. There are lots of videos that I've added for different topics. They can only be watched if you are a member. So you can join our membership. It's just not more than 40 rand, I think, a month. And you can cancel it anytime. I think with the 40 rand benefiting from most of the videos, I think you can just use that to your advantage and then cancel it anytime. Remember, it helps us to maintain this channel. So go ahead if you want to become a member and join our premium membership. Now, the next question that I have here is this one. 3.2, they want us to simplify. It says x minus 4 squared, 5x minus 20. So that's the part there. What is 5x minus 20? I'm just going to work it down here. 5x minus 20. It still works on factorization. See, though they said simplify. You can see that 5 and 20. 5 is common. I take out 5. 5 divided into 5x, the 5 will cancel the 5. You see the x will remain there. So it's x minus 5 into 20. 5 goes into 20 4 times. So it's x minus 4. That is already a way of factorizing that. I can do the same thing for that one, which is 2x plus 2. And if I take out what is common, you can see it's 2. So 2 goes into 2 ones, so x will remain. You can see that. And then 2 goes into this other 2 ones, so it's 1 will remain. So that is what you are doing actually when you're factorizing. So 2 goes there, x will remain, plus 1. So this is what I'm having. I can then rewrite this to say this is x minus 4 squared over, where there's 5x minus 20, I have 5 and then I've got x minus 4. You see, they give you things that are intentional. Times 10 over x minus 4 divided by, now where there is 2x plus 1, 2x plus 2, we have got 2 bracket x plus 1 over x plus 1. Are you seeing that? Now, before I do anything, I start cancelling. Get rid of this division sign. What do you do? Convert it into a multiplication sign, because you don't want to start cancelling wrong things. How do you convert it into a multiplication sign? This part after the division sign, it goes to the top, is the one after the division sign, and this part, all of it will go to the bottom. So what I have is x minus 4 squared over 5 x minus 4 times, it must always be times before you cancel to simplify things. Now from a division I have changed to a multiplication. Now look what I've done. The x plus 1 now is on top, which is the numerator, but the 2 into x plus 1 is now the what? The denominator. Then you could have cancelled earlier, it was still going to give the same answer, but I'm saying just to ensure you don't find yourself making errors, I prefer when there is a times and a times like that. Now let's start to cancel. If I'm given actually here, let me come back to this to say, if you give me this square, it means there is, that square means another bracket of x minus 4. The square means there are two of them. So it means it's x minus 4, x minus 4. I see that. Then when I'm cancelling, this will go, meaning one of them will remain. But look, that one and that one, they're similar, so still they will also cancel out. X plus 1 will cancel out. See that? So let me just write the numbers. I know you can cancel further here, but let's do this. So here we've got 1 times 10. So you can see that I've got 10 at the top, times 1 at the bottom. I've got 5 times 1 times 1 times 2. So 5 times 2 is 10, and then 10 over 10, the answer is actually equal to 1. That is how this simplifies. How can you test this? It's also a good one. What you can do, choose any value of x that you think of. For example, let the value of x be equal to 7. Wherever there is x, you put a 7. Any value that you think of. After we simplify this, it must give us a 1. So let's try that with a calculator and see if ever it is going to give us that value of 1. So I've got fraction bracket 7 minus 4 squared over 5 into 7, remember that, minus 20. Always put a bracket for that, and then it's times 10 over 7 minus 4 divided by 2 into 7. It's in a fraction way, divided by 2 into 7 plus 2 over 7 plus 1. So remember, it gave us a 1 equal to, see, when I press equal to, it gives me a 1. So guys, that's how you can test. You don't need any person to just tell you whether you are right or wrong. You can become your teacher. You can become the examiner, I mean the marker of your paper by testing these questions. Now let's look at the last one for our session. As I said, I just wanted to give a quick revision for you guys as you're preparing for your final exam. It says determine, I'm here, determine the lowest common multiple LCM and the highest common factor HCF of the following algebraic terms by using prime factors. Key things there. So first thing is, for us to determine this and this, we need to understand what are prime factors. So let's start from here. The first part is this one. If I have this to say 6 p4 q3 r squared, 20 p squared q5 r cubed, and 9 p6 q4 r to the power 5, I need to express them as prime factors. The first one that you need to do is look at the numbers. The numbers are key. Don't worry with the letters, but it's the numbers. 6, you need to express 6 as a prime factor. So how to express 6 is easy. 6 is simple: 2 times 3. Remember, a prime factor is a number that you can only divide it by 1 and itself. So 2 can be divided by 1 and 2, which is a prime number. From 2, the next number is 3. So what you do is you can use like this to say you're dividing 2 into 6 is 3. The only number that can go into 3 is the next 3. 3 into 3 is 1. So the numbers you're multiplying, it's 2 times 3. You can do the same thing with 20. This is how you do 20 as a product of its prime factors. You start to say which is the smallest number that can go into 20 except 1. It's 2. 2 into 20, it gives me 10. You move on again. Which number can go into 10? The smallest number can go into 10, which is a prime number, which can be divided by 1 and itself. Again, it's 2. 2 into 10. How many times does 2 go into 10? It's 5. The next one is which number can go into 5 without leaving a remainder? 2 cannot go into 5. The next number you can try is 3. 3 is also a prime number. The next prime number after 3 is 5 itself, because 5 can only be divided by 1 and 5. So 5 into 5, it's 1. Then on this side here, if you multiply these numbers and say 2 times 2 times 5, you will get 20. So which means we've expressed 20 as a product of prime numbers. So 2 is a prime number, 2 is a prime number, 5 is a prime number. So here I have got 2 times 2 times 5. I'm just focusing on numbers. Or you can move on to say, but what is 2 times 2? 2 times 2 is same to say it's 2 squared times 5. That's the best way to write it. This one where there is 2 is like 2 to the power of 1. Where there is 3 is 3 to the power of 1. That's how we express it. Where there is 5 is 5 to the power of 1. The next one is 9. You do the same thing. How can I write 9 as a product of its prime factors? You do that on 9 and say, if I've got in here what can go into 9? 2 cannot go into 9, but the next smallest number, which is a prime number that can go into 9, is 3. So prime numbers, guys, are numbers like 1, because 1 can be divided by 1 and itself. 2 can be divided by 1 and itself. 3, these are the common ones. From 3, let's try 4. Is 4 a prime number? No. Why? Because 4 can be divided by, let's look at the number that go into 4. It's 1, it's 2, and it's 4. The moment there is more than one number, I mean there is more than 2 numbers, automatically that number is not a prime number. Let's go to 5. 5 can be divided by 1 and itself. Yes, 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 yes. Let's go to 6. Now I can divide 6 by 1, 6 by 2, 6 by 6 plus by 3, and 6 by 4. It is not. So you see how you find prime numbers. 7 by 1 and itself. Yes. So those are numbers that when I keep on saying they are prime numbers, most of the time you won't go further than 11 or so, but you need to know these prime numbers. So 3 into 9 is 3. Again, 3 will go into 3 to give us a 1. So you can find 9 by multiplying 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 gives me a 9. But 3 times 3 is same as 3 squared. So 9 is 3 squared. Are you with me? So these are prime numbers of 6. 20 as well as 9. So now the question then says I need to find the LCM. Guys, very simple. It's 7 marks. This question is 7 marks, but it is the most easier way to work around. Think of it. You want 7 marks. If they want LCM, you don't need to panic now. How to write your answer? For lowest common multiple, look at the numbers, start with the smaller number, which is 2, and look at the highest power. We've got 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2. So for LCM, and then here is HCF, highest common factor. LCM, always focus on higher powers. Start with the smallest number, 2 to the power 1 and 2 to the power 2. You write 2 to the power 2. So we are covered with the 2. We are done. Move on to the next number is 3. 3 to the power 1, 3 to the power 2. You multiply. The highest power is 3 to the power 2. You are covered again with a 3. The next number left is 5. You say times 5. That is the LCM of the numbers. Remember, it's the lowest common multiple, meaning which smallest number can 6, 20, and 9 go into. It is this number. We're going to test this. It is the number which is 2 squared times 3 squared times 5. We can actually quickly test that number. What is this number which is 3 squared, 2 squared times 3 squared times 5? If I can take my calculator here and multiply 2 squared times 3 squared times 5. That number is 180. You see that? So let's try it. 180 divided by 6. See, it goes 6 goes into 180. 180 divided by 20, of course 20 goes into that, and 180 divided by 9, 9 goes that. So 180 is the number here. Okay, so equal to division line is, I was just trying to say that. So now next thing, the next part now is to focus on the unknowns. So we are done with these numbers. Let's now focus on these P, Q, and the R. Very simple when we're dealing with the LCM. Always take the highest powers. Start with P. We have got P4. We have got P to the power of 2. We have got P exponent 6. Which one is the highest power? It's 6. So you write P exponent 6. Next one, you go to Q. We're done with the P. Again, highest power. Q to the power of 3. Q to the power of 5. Q to the power of 4. There you see is the one with 5. Q to the power of 5. The last one is your R. R squared, R cubed, and R to the power of 5. R to the power of 5 is the highest power. Guys, that becomes your LCM. If you want to simplify it, it becomes 180, P to the power of 6, Q to the power of 5, R to the power of 5. It is not complicated. You just needed to know this approach. Now, what about the highest common factor? It's the opposite now. In as much as we were taking the highest powers, with the highest common factor, we are taking the smallest powers. And those smaller powers, the numbers must be common. For example, if I can write back on these numbers here, remember, this was 2 times 3. This was 2 squared times 5. This was 3 squared. Now, the first thing on the highest common factor, the number must appear on these prime factors. I expect the numbers to appear in all the three. For example, 2 is appearing in the first one, which is good. In the second one, yes, but in the third one, there is not 2, so it's not a common factor. I tried 3. You have 3 in the first one, but it's not in the second one, which means automatically it's not common, because it must be a number that is common in 6, 20, and 9. I try 5. 5 appears once, not common there, not common. So as far as the numbers are concerned, there is no common factor on these numbers except 1, because remember, by default there is 1 times 1 times 1 times. It's a hidden 1. So the first number there, if there is nothing on the numbers, the only number which you can choose is a 1 as to represent the numbers. Now when you're done with the numbers, you come back to the P, Q, and the R. Now on the P, you look at P4, P squared, and P6. So P is common, but you take the smallest power, which is P squared. See how it's like? You move on. For the next one is Q, which is Q to the power of 3, Q to the power of 5, and Q to the power of 4. The 3 is the smallest power. It's Q to the power of 3. Similarly, so you see the opposite now. You're taking the smaller power, and R, you can see it's squared, which is the smallest power. Then this becomes the highest common factor. What does it mean? It means 1 P squared, Q squared, R squared is the number that can go into this and this and this. It is the highest number which can go, or which you can divide it into that, and that. So guys, this was in a way to me a 17 marks that was good to get total of, which you can use to actually get good marks for your final exam. I hope this algebra section was in a way helping, or in a way assisting you guys as you are doing your final maths, you know. So it is always good for you guys. I'm seeing some people are live, like I think it's extraordinary explorations. You are live, and yeah, I know the time that I'm having this stream, it is way into the early hours of the morning, but you guys are good. Just thank you for subscribing, thank you for knowing that there are people there at the end of the channel who are actually benefiting. And then it says we are good. Thanks for the comment. But as I said, guys, remember, if you want more of these videos, what I will advise you to do is to ensure that you switch on that notification bell so that you're notified whenever there are new videos. Besides that one, I just encourage you to subscribe to our membership. The membership will help you get lots and tons of content, of videos or tutorials which you can use, which you can see that others cannot see. So it kind of make you special in a way, because you are able to get lots of these videos so that you can be able to be prepared for your final exams. Guys, we've come to the end of our 24-minute lesson. Remember, reaching out is proof of passion. What does it mean to me? It means I've reached out to you guys. You also can reach out to others by sharing this channel. Thank you.